All right, guys, we just rolled out the ability to add multiple sequences into your subscription plans. And why this is so powerful is you can now go in and add in additional sequences to deliver different products for each time that your customers are rebuilt. So I love this about how our subscription plans work, because you can actually deliver the same product every month, or you can go in and you can build out, on sequence number one, I want them to get this product, and sequence number two, I want them to get these different products. So this allows you to fully customize your subscription plan and, set up kind of the customer journey that your members are going to receive as they come through your subscription. So the first thing I want to do is I actually want to talk about how these subscription sequences work and how we determine which sequence number a customer is on, because that's going to be important for you to know so that you know exactly which products that you want to go inside of which different sequence. And the main thing for you to know about how Cart Hero determines the sequence, and this is all done automatically behind the scenes for you, is that we calculate the customer's sequence number based on the number of paid invoices that we have from the payment processor. And what I mean by this is so for example, sequence number one, the products that the customer are going to receive and that we're going to create an order for on the first renewal order is going to be these products from sequence number one. So this is, customer signs up, they go through their trial, they get rebilled for the first time. That first renewal order, that's going to be what's based from these products that you have in sequence number one. Now, in Cart Hero, that's going to progress right along with the number of paid invoices that we have received. So the second time a customer is charged, like their second rebill, they're going to get the products from sequence number two. The third time that they're rebilled, they're going to get products from sequence number three. And again, this is all based from the number of times that they have paid for the subscription. And this is a little bit different than how AppTrends calculated the sequence, because AppTrends actually determined it on the number of total invoices that a customer had, which could include paid and failed invoices. But the important thing to know is that Cart Hero calculates it based on the number of paid invoices. First paid invoice is going to be sequence number one, second paid invoice, sequence number two, and so on and so forth. Okay, now the next thing that I want to talk to you about, now that you understand like how the sequences are determined, is actually the subscription type, because this subscription type is going to work hand in hand with these sequences in determining which sequence the customer is actually on. So let's start with the first type and the most popular, which is rotate. And what rotate means, and I mentioned this in previous tutorials, but rotate means that the customer is going to go through these sequences and they're going to keep rotating back through them. So on their first rebuild, they're going to get, let's just say that you have three sequences. On the first renewal order, they're going to get the products from sequence number one. The second renewal order, they're going to get products from sequence number two. The third renewal order, they're going to get the products from sequence number three. And then on the fourth time that they are charged, they're going to go back up and we're going to rotate back to the beginning, which is the products from sequence number one. So that's what rotate means, is that they're just rotating through all of these sequences over and over. So they'll go from beginning to end and then back to the beginning, and then beginning to end and back to the beginning. You can always come back in and add additional sequences, but those customers are just going to keep looping through and rotating through these different sequences. The next plan type is rotate and repeat. And what this means is that, same concept as before, customers are going to start and go through these sequences, but once they get to the last sequence, that sequence is going to be repeated, and they're going to stay on receiving those products from the last sequence until you add an additional sequence. So let's use that same example again. Let's just say that you have three sequences. They're going to get products from sequence number one, products from sequence number two, products from sequence number three, and then on the fourth time that they are rebuilt, that fourth invoice we receive, we're going to continue to use the products from sequence number three. So I hope that helps kind of clarify how the sequences work, how we determine which sequence a customer is on, and working kind of hand in hand with the subscription type. Now, if you're coming over from AppTrends, this process is going to work the exact same. You're not going to have to manually go in to determine which sequence your customer is on. We're going to check that for you once we receive the invoice inside of Cart Hero. It's actually going to go back and it's going to look and see, okay, this customer has actually had 3 paid invoices already. This is the 4th one that we just received. They need to be on sequence number 4. So all of that is going to be handled behind the scenes for you. So they should pick up inside of the sequences where they left off. Now, like I mentioned a little bit previous, there is that slight difference, and in a rare case, the customer sequence could be a little bit different than what were in AppTrends, because Cart Hero bases the sequence number off of how many paid invoices, and AppTrends base it on the number of total invoices that include paid and failed. So, but for most customers and most users, everything should flow exactly like normal. Once we receive an invoice into Cart Hero, we're going to check and see which sequence they're supposed to be on, and they'll get the products from that sequence. So, all right, now that I've walked through kind of how sequences work, what they're all about, the different how they work with those plan types, I want to go ahead and jump in and show you like how you add products to the sequences, how you create additional sequences, and then also how you delete products from sequences and delete sequences altogether. All right, so what we'll need to do is click over here on Add Product, and we can add in, let's just find my rock product. So we can add a product in here to sequence number 1, which would be the product that they're going to get the first time that they are rebuilt. If you want to add additional products into this first sequence that will go along with this product, you can click back on Add Product, and you can add other items in here. So if we wanted to include our dynamite product, we could put that in here as well, and we can adjust the quantity of each one of those if we want to. One thing that I want to mention is that the total amount that your customer paid for their subscription is going to be split between the items that you include here. So let's give an example of, let's just say they paid $20 for this subscription, and you have 2 products here, rock and a dynamite. On the order confirmation, the order that's created, the amount's going to be split between these 2 items. So this one would be $10 and this one would be $10, and that's going to be split. Split up based on how much they were actually charged. Now, if for some reason you wanted to add a product to your subscription plan and you wanted it to be a free item, over here you'll see the payback. So let's just say that in this one we wanted them to get the rock and we wanted this dynamite to be a free. We can just click on this paid over here, and that's going to change it to free. And so now all of the cost is going to be associated towards this rock product, and the dynamite is going to be a free item. Okay. So now what we need to do is, if we decide, okay, this is the product, or these are the products that we want our customers to receive on the first order, we can now add in an additional sequence. And how you do that is you'll see add sequence number 2. We can click on that, and it's going to go ahead and it's going to ask us which product that we want to start sequence number 2 off with. So let's just say that we wanted to give them our paper product. We could add that product in right here. And now we've put in the product that they're going to receive the second time that they're rebuilt. You can add in as many products that you want to, or just a single product. It can be the same products from the first sequence. Like, you completely customize this to however you want to. So let's go ahead and add in a sequence number 3, and let's just say on this one we want to give them our scissors product. We can hit add product in right there. Again, now that we've added a product into our third sequence, this is what they're going to receive on their third paid invoice. Now, let's just go back to our example here on rotate and repeat, and let's say that we only set up 3 sequences, and the customer comes through and they're now on their 4th paid invoice. They're on their 4th invoice, but we're set to rotate and repeat, which means that we're going to repeat this last sequence. So sequence number 3 product would be delivered again. So I just wanted to give you an example right there of how that worked. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about is actually deleting a sequence, or deleting products off of a sequence. So let's just say that we decided, I want to change the product out for sequence number 2. I no longer want them to get the paper product. I want to get them something else. What you'll need to do is you'll actually need to add the new product in first that you want them to receive. So just find your new product that you want, go ahead and put it in here, and then you can delete off the old item that you want to get rid of. And the reason that you do it this way is because if you're on a sequence and it's only got one product on there and you try to delete it, you're going to get this message which is actually going to delete the sequence as well. So, and what this says is, when you delete this download product, you're going to be removing it from the subscription plan, and we're going to shift all the sequences up. So sequence number 3 is now going to move up to sequence number 2. And it's basically giving you a warning that, if you want to keep a sequence number 2, in place and you don't want to move everything up, you need to just go ahead and add another item in first before deleting the dynamite. So let's just say that, like we decided we don't want to keep a sequence number 2. Let's bring all the sequences from, bring those sequences up. So 3 would now be 2. We can delete the product, and that's going to delete sequence number 2. And what that did was that moved all of those, that scissors product that was sequence number 3, it moved that into the sequence number 2 position. One thing that I want you to keep in mind is that you can always come back and add additional sequences or add additional products, but you'll just need to make sure that your plan is actually deactivated before you can make any changes to the products or add additional sequences. So, and also you'll notice that to add additional sequences, you'll need to be on the last sequence. So you can't add a sequence from sequence number 1. If you wanted to add a sequence number 3, you would need to go to sequence number 2, and then you'll see add sequence number 3, and you can just pop your product in that you want those customers to receive. So, all right, once you get all of your sequences set up and how you want to, you can go ahead and toggle this. This subscription plan is active. And what that's going to do is it's going to begin creating orders anytime that we receive any charges. So that pretty much wraps up the tutorial. If you guys have any questions about subscription sequences, feel free to let us know. Be sure to join our Slack channel where we have on-demand support and training and all of those things inside of there. It's a free Slack workspace. We'd love to have you in. Inside your dashboard, you'll see the icon down in the bottom left. Just click on it and it'll get you access to the Slack workspace. All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. We will see you guys in the next one.